Hey guys, so non-resolving 2-5 chains usually resolve downwards either by a half step, a whole step, or through the circle of fifths. For example, E minor 7 to A7, A minor 7 to D7 is moving through the circle of fifths because we're moving from the key of D down to the key of G. And E minor 7 to A7, D minor 7 to G7 is moving down by a whole step because we're going from the key of D to the key of C. And that acts as a kind of secondary dominant. So the E minor 7 is in the key of C, then we tonicize the D minor 7 by playing in A7, down to the D minor 7, to the G7, and probably finishing on the C major 7. Or again, E minor 7 to A7, E flat minor 7 to A flat 7, is going from the key of D to the key of D flat, which is a tritone substitution of the key of G. So it's still kind of moving through the circle of fifths, but with tritone substitution. Now, these chord progressions sound strong and functional because the key changes follow the circle of fifths, like D to G, a tritone substitution of the circle of fifths, like the D to D flat, or have secondary dominants, or secondary 2-5s, like the A7 going to the D minor 7 and moving from the key of D to the key of C. Now, if you don't know what functional harmony or secondary dominants are, I have separate videos on these topics which you can watch. But in short, functional harmony sounds like it's moving towards an ultimate endpoint, that is a tonic chord. Like the second chord progression I just played, E minor 7, A7, D minor 7, G7, our ear expects to hear a final chord which is a C major 7. Now, contiguous 2-5s are 2-5 chains that do not move through the circle of fifths or create secondary dominants. Instead, they resolve upward by half a step, whole step, major third or minor third, or downwards by a minor third or a major third. And as such, they sound non-functional, like there is no ultimate final tonic chord, and like the chord progression could just go on forever. So for example, E minor 7 to A7 to F minor 7 to B flat 7, or E minor 7, A7, F sharp minor 7, B7, or E minor 7, A7, G minor 7, C7, or E minor 7, A7, A flat minor 7 to D flat 7, or going down E minor 7 to A7, D flat minor 7 to G flat 7, or again E minor 7 to G7 to C minor 7 to F7. So these types of chord progressions, so 2-5 chains that do not move through the circle of fifths, are called contiguous 2-5s. Right, so 2-5s that are next to each other, that are contiguous, but aren't really related to each other in terms of functionality or moving through keys in a logical way or through the circle of fifths. They're kind of almost standalone 2-5s that don't really, say, talk to each other. Now, these contiguous 2-5s are used relatively often in jazz, as they add a kind of anticipation or expectation to the chord progression. These contiguous 2-5s sound like they're building up to something, but because they do so in a non-functional way, that is, without inferring a tonic chord, you don't quite know what that something is or where the ultimate endpoint is. And so they're used to delay the final resolution and thus give a sense of relief once you finally do reach some kind of tonic chord. Right, so it was building up and kind of increasing in tension and anticipation and expectation, but you didn't know where it was going to end until it did. And note that because we're moving through each 2-5 quickly without resolving to the 1, then this is not technically true modulation. We're not really fully changing key here. Instead, we're only kind of implying a new key in each bar without really settling into it and moving on quite quickly. And this is called tonicization rather than modulation. Right, it's very similar to what happens with secondary dominance. You're changing key, but because it's only for such a short period of time and you're not resolving to an ultimate tonic chord, it doesn't really sound like you've completely committed to that change of key. You're sort of just implying the key, so it's tonicization, not modulation. So in a sense, you can think of this progression that I just played as a whole bunch of passing chords on your way to a final 2-5-1 in G, which is what I finished with. And so that building of expectation and anticipation works quite well in a lot of songs. For example, the song Satin Doll does exactly that. So keep an eye out for these contiguous 2/5s next time you're playing a jazz standard, and maybe increase the intensity of your improvisation as you go up through these contiguous 2/5s. Maybe play a little bit faster or a little bit louder to match the kind of increasing anticipation that these contiguous 2/5s are building. Until at the final resolution, when the chord finally hits some kind of tonic chord, then you hit and hold that guide tone, for example, so that you're completely resolved and at rest. So in that way, your improvisation kind of follows the chord progression. As the chord progression builds up and builds a bit of tension and creates a bit of anticipation, your improvisation can follow and do the same thing and resolve together. And that's it for me. Just a quick little theory lesson on contiguous 2/5s. Hope that was interesting, and thanks for watching. See ya!